Hello and welcome to traders and investors, and I'm glad to present you the daily market review prepared by analysts and experts from fx.co portal. Here we go. And we're starting with euro-dollar pair with Din Lao. On Tuesday, the EURUSD pair continued its upward movement after rebounding from the 38% corrective level at 17.18. And by the end of the day reached the resistance zone of 1.1795, 1802. A rebound from this zone worked in favor of the US dollar and marked the start of a decline. This morning, the pair consolidated below the 1.1718 level. Thus, the decline may continue toward the next Fibonacci level of 15%. At 1.1656, a renewed close above 1718 would once again favor the euro and a resumption of growth toward the 1.1802 level. The wave situation on the early chart remains simple and clear. The most recently completed downward wave did not break the previous peak, while the most recent upward wave broke the previous peak. Thus, the trend officially remains bullish. It would be hard to call it strong, but in recent weeks the bulls have regained confidence and begun to attack with renewed strength. Easing of the Fed's monetary policy supports further growth of the European currency, and the ECB will not create any problems for the euro in the near future. On the 4-hour chart, the pair reversed in favor of the US dollar, and after a bullish divergence formed on CCI technical indicator, thus the decline process may continue for some time toward the support level of 1649-1680. A rebound from this zone would favor the euro and a resumption of growth toward the 0% corrective level at 1.1829. Let's trade with the MACD indicator. It's time for GBPUSD. Jakub Novak presents. You could plan to buy the pound today around the entry point of 1.3336, with a target at 33.54. Around 33.54, you could exit purchases and open sales in the opposite direction, expecting a 30-35 point move from the level. Growth in the pound today can only be expected after a dovish stance from the Fed. Important, before buying, make sure that the MACD indicator is above the zero mark and just beginning to rise from it. You could also plan to buy the pound today if the price tests 1.3320 twice consecutively, while the MACD is in an oversold zone. This limits downside potential and should trigger a market reversal upward. Expected targets are 1.3336 and 33.54. You could plan to sell the pound after it breaks 33.20. which will trigger a rapid drop. The key target for sellers is 32.95, where you could exit sales and immediately open purchases in the opposite direction, expecting a 20-25 point move from the level. Selling pressure on the pound can return at any time. Before selling, make sure that the MACD is below the zero mark and just beginning to start decline. You could also plan to sell the pound today if the price tests 1.3336 two times in a row, while the MACD is in an overbought zone. This limits upward potential and should trigger a market reversal downward. Expected targets are 1.3320 and 32.95. That's all for today. See you online soon.